dear light warriors from all over the globe. Sunny parts, not so sunny parts, warm parts, cool parts. Wherever you are, it's a great pleasure, and we're very grateful to see you all here in this light warrior community and helping us creating a beautiful place on this earth we're sharing together. My name is Wouter. I'm your tech host, as you probably imagined in the meantime. If there are any technical difficulties, send me a direct message and I'll sort you out as soon as possible. And for today's beautiful introduction, I can't hand it over to anybody better than our beautiful Inken.
Thank you so much, Wouter. Yeah, also a very warm welcome from my side. My name is Inken, and I'm very happy to be a part of the wonderful hosting team of the Lightwear Collective. I am very grateful to see so many familiar faces again today. That's always so lovely. And I'm really happy to see new faces. And I would like, if this is the first time for you, that you know that this is your safe space. The Lightwear Collective has created this safe space. Since more than 3 years, we have been showing up every Sunday at the same time for you. So this is really your space for self-care, for self-empowerment, for inspiration, for connection, and just, raising your vibe together. We have been creating this passion project really over a long time, and it has grown in such a beautiful way that none of us has thought that we could be in this space. And it just gives us so much to be together with you and to co-create with you. And we keep being blessed with beautiful guest speakers that help us not just to co-create, but really to create such a beautiful energy together and help and just create a space of for me of being every Sunday. I miss it. If I don't have it, I miss it a lot. And it's really a consistent part in my life and in the life of the Lightwear Collective hosting team, and we hope also in your life. So consistency is key. That's why we are here every Sunday. Same link, same time, same day. You can rely on that. And we just love to see you go and start your week with a raised vibe, with a smile in your face, and just maybe a little bit lighter. And based on the beautiful, beautiful feedback, the powerful feedback that we received after Andra's session last weekend, which was about the inner child healing, we decided to go even deeper. And it was kind of like a match that I connected with our guest speaker. Same time, intuitively, we just reached out to each other, and it was like a click moment. And we said, okay, it has to happen. It's meant to be that we go deeper in this topic, because everybody knows this is a huge topic. It's never ending. It's like we have to train this muscle and work on this and dive deep. It deserves a spotlight. And that's why we continue the journey today with our beautiful guest speaker, Neha. She's a dear friend of me. She has been here in Abu Dhabi with me and one of my dearest friends. And now she's in Canada, and I'm very happy for her for this new step in her life. And same time, super grateful that she's showing up today for you, leading us into the deep dive of the inner healing of your inner child. And I can tell by myself, I have done RTT with her. She's a very powerful guide and has a lot of wisdom to share. So when we touch base, I was just like, she has to share her wisdom with us and bring her love into our community. So I can't wait to hand it over to her so we can dive deep. Neha, we are all yours. Thank you very much for being here, for making this happen, and I send you much love.
Thank you so much, Inken. It's such a pleasure to be here and be able to share what I am passionate about and share healing and heal the world one person at a time. It's really a pleasure to be here. Thank you so much. And I know I've moved to Canada, but I still miss you a lot, and I miss our meetings, but I'm glad that we are able to meet like this. So hello, everyone. A very good morning, good evening, in whichever part of the world you are. My name is Neha. I am a Rapid Transformational Practitioner and a clinical hypnotherapist. Today, we'll talk about inner child healing. First, I would do a presentation, and then we'll go towards the meditation part, the healing part. So I just share my screen. Can you all see my screen? Fantastic, perfect. So today's agenda, we'll do a self-reflection activity, and that is why I wanted you all to have a pen and paper. We'll talk about what an inner child is, because everybody's talking about inner child healing, but what exactly is an inner child? The wounded inner child, how does that look like? Why is it important to heal? And some of tips for healing that I would like to share, and we would end this session with a guided healing session. So I'm going to display one statement at a time, and the only thing I want you to write in your journal or paper that you have is yes or no. That's about it. So don't have to write the statement, don't write anything. I'll just display one statement at a time and just write if it's a yes or no. So for instance, deep down, I feel that there's something terribly wrong with me. Yes or no. I struggle to say no. Yes or no. Simple. I'm always in conflict with myself and other people. I have poor self-esteem and low self-respect. I tend to hold things and have trouble letting go. I feel guilty standing up for myself. I feel inadequate and not good enough. I feel anxious whenever I think about doing something new or when changes takes place. I'm a people pleaser and I always try to remain in their good books. I'm driven to always be a super achiever. I avoid conflict at every chance possible. Conflicts is a big no-no for me. I never felt close to my father or mother. I feel responsible for others' happiness and tend to overlook mine. I seek perfection in all that I do. I am a perfectionist. I have trouble starting or finishing things. I have difficulty trusting people, including myself. I am an addict or have been addicted to something. I fear being abandoned, and I will do anything to cling to a relationship, even if it means hurting myself. So I just want you to count all the yeses that you have and just put them in the chat. Just share it with everyone. We will talk about and come to this later during the session. Just put in how many yeses do you have? 5, 2, 3, 10. Whatever it is, just put it in the chat. Three, 15, 7, 2, 7.5. Outer, I like that. 8. Others, if you have the answers, I would appreciate if you could put in the chat. And we'll come back to why we did this activity in the first place. Now, talking about what is an inner child. Well, they say each one of us has a child within us, irrespective of how old we are. If we are in our 30s, 40s, 50s, no matter how old we are, we all have a child within us. An inner child is a part of us that reserves all the feelings, all the memories, all the emotions. It's an integral part of our personality. That is what an inner child is. It is a part of our personality. The wounded inner child. Well, most of our core belief systems are developed before the age of 7. And it's not a rational or a logical state. As a child, we have an egocentric world view of the world. Now, what does that mean? We feel that the world revolves around us. So if you've seen a child, they think everything is because of them, for them, somehow linked to them. So we have that view of the world as a child, and we believe that everything is somehow caused by us or somehow linked to us. So, for example, while I was growing up, my parents were not available. They were always busy at work. And I grew up feeling that maybe I'm not lovable enough. Maybe I'm not good, and that is why they're not there with me. And if you had a parent who was busy, who was sick, who was unavailable to cater to your needs as a child, you would have definitely picked up this belief that somehow I am not good enough or unlovable or not worthy of that love. Not that maybe my mother is stressed, because it's not possible for a child basically to think that. That's not a logical or a rational state that a child has. It's just a very egocentric view of the world. Everything is about me. If they're not talking to me, it is about me. If they're not there for me, this is about me. Everything is about me. And we feel that somehow this is our fault as a child, or that we deserve that. And even if you somehow have vague memories of those events in your childhood, they could still be affecting you deeply to this day. That is a wounded inner child, a child with unmet emotional, physical, and psychological needs. Now, why is it important? Well, most of us have not had a happy childhood. And when we talk about trauma, the first thing that comes to our mind is sexual abuse, physical abuse, death of a parent. Well, trauma doesn't just end here. Trauma is about your parents not being available for you. Trauma is also about your parents preferring your sibling over you. It's also about being bullied at school. It's about being secluded by your peers. It's also your family members, your teachers demeaning you, criticizing you. That is also trauma. And all these wounds from childhood, they leave a scar if they are unhealed. Not all of us have had a very traumatic childhood, but all of us have experienced some of those kinds of childhood wounding where our needs were not met. And the inner child work is about going back to that child within us, going back to that little boy, that little girl within us, and trying to understand the belief systems that we've developed and heal through them. It's about going back to that child and meeting that child's needs that were unmet as a child. It's about going within and reconnecting and trying to understand those behaviors, those subconscious patterns as an adult. Because you can't heal what you don't understand, and hence it is important to understand. And this is important because you are going to meet your own unmet needs as an adult today. Needs that weren't met by your parents. Now, why is it important? I'd like to share a personal story with you. So 2 years ago, it was my birthday, and it was middle of the week. My husband was extremely busy with work, and he had left early in the morning before I woke up. I vaguely remember him wishing me happy birthday, and I texted him during the day. I tried calling him. He did not answer my calls. My in-laws were visiting us, so we thought that we would go for dinner whenever he's back from work. Well, they were new, so they said, okay, Neha, order a cake. So I ordered a cake for myself. And I thought, okay, I was looking forward to some celebration end of the day. Whenever he comes back, we'll go out, cut a cake, celebrate. Okay. And we expected him to be back by 9 o'clock. Well, he didn't. And every passing moment after that was a struggle. I kept looking at the clock every few minutes, and he wasn't there. 10 p.m. It was like here, and I was looking at my watch sitting on the couch, and 10 p.m. I remember tears started rolling down my eyes. I felt like he doesn't have time for me. I felt like he doesn't care for me. He doesn't love me enough. Maybe I'm not deserving of his love. Maybe I'm not deserving of the celebration or this happiness. I felt broken from inside. And I blamed him for all my emotions. Well, it was his fault. He did not show up on time. We had to celebrate my birthday. Well, a part of me knew that he was overburdened at work, but I couldn't resist feeling what I felt. I felt sad. I felt unworthy. And I felt unloved. The wait felt never ending. It kind of felt that time had slowed down, and waiting for him on the couch, I dozed off there. 2 a.m. and the doorbell rang. I woke up to open the door and I was so angry and frustrated. I didn't even look at him. I went to the bed without talking to him. And the next day I woke up with the same emotions. But thankfully, this happened while I was working on my healing. And the next few days, I reflected upon what made me so upset. Why was I so sad? Why did I cry so much? And with a lot of self-reflection, I realized that this was not about him. This was about me. It was the child within me who craved for celebration, who wanted to be celebrated, who wanted that their loved one takes time for them to celebrate them. As a child, birthdays are special, right? And especially when you see your cousins and peers making a big deal out of it while you grow up. Well, my birthdays weren't like that because my parents were busy making ends meet, trying to send us to school, try to have jobs, earn the money so that they can feed us. So birthdays were last of the priority list. So my birthdays weren't celebrated, but my peers celebrated their birthdays. And this was my unmet childhood. It was the child within me screaming, celebrate. And when we discussed this over the weekend, he apologized. He said, Neha, I'm sorry, I had no time. And I thanked him for showing me what needed healing within me. Because if it was not for him, I would have never realized that it was that child within me screaming, please celebrate me. Please celebrate my birthday. That was my unmet childhood need. So last year on my birthday, I ensured that I will celebrate myself. Although I spent most of the day alone, but I can tell you, I did the things that I love to do, and it was one of the most amazing birthdays I had. Because I feel understanding is power. And when you understand, you have the power to fix it. And that is when healing begins. Time for some more self-reflection. So I want you to think about it. Are there certain people, situation in your life who irritate you or make you feel angry or frustrated? It could be your boss. It could be a stranger on the street who just parked or crossed your way in such a way that it made you feel frustrated or angry or hurt you or make you feel sad or upset or make you feel that you aren't important or good enough or worthy enough or deserving enough. A family member, a colleague, a boss who criticizes you for the work you do, or somebody who doesn't value your opinion and you feel unheard, somebody who criticizes you and you feel that they don't value me, maybe I'm not good enough. It could not just be a people, it could be a situation. If you had to wait for somebody for 30 minutes, how would you feel? If you are talking to me and I am on the phone like this, how would you feel? What are some of those situations that make you feel irritated, hurt, upset, unworthy, undeserving, not good, frustrated? Because the next time this happens, I want you to take a moment to understand that this could be a trigger and not the cause. And take time to reflect what inside me needs healing. I personally can tell you when my husband used to be on the phone like this, I used to feel very irritated. And we have had several fights. Oh, can you please keep your phone down? Because I can't talk to you when you're on your phone, just scrolling through it. And for me, it was, you're not paying attention to me. That means I don't matter. And that was the feeling that got triggered. So when something happens next time in your life, I want you to see for yourself, reflect for yourself, what is within me that needs healing. some of the tips that I would like to share that could help us heal. And the first one is to acknowledge your inner child. The fact that you all are here today means that you understand something needs healing. And accepting and acknowledging the inner child is just about recognizing and accepting those things in your life that have caused you pain in childhood. The next thing is identifying the form of neglect you've experienced. So the core of trauma lies mostly between lack of love to lack of protection and anything in between. It could be, oh, I wanted more freedom as a child. Oh, I wanted more protection as a child. I wanted more guidance as a child. I wish I had more money. I wish I had more resources. I wish I had more appreciation. It could be just anything. So it is important to recognize what is that you missed. Embrace your emotions, and this is a very powerful one. So when a child falls down, what is the first thing that you say? Oh, don't cry. Nothing happened. Well, the child hears, don't express, don't feel. And we are conditioned not to feel. That's how we grew up. Oh, good girls don't cry. Oh, strong men don't cry. And crying has been a no. Oh, you're shouting for something? No, that's a bad behavior. You're not supposed to shout. What we're giving a message to the child is basically don't express. And as an adults, when we feel, what do? Oh, let's watch Netflix. Oh, let's go eat something today. Nice, because I am feeling very low. Let's grab an ice cream. Or let's binge watch something, or let's go on Amazon and shop something. We say retail therapy, right? For a reason, because we don't want to feel our emotions and we want to just escape from those. By watching, by eating, by doing things that would just let us not to feel, because that's how we are conditioned. But embracing your emotions is about talking to that inner child and seeing what does that child feel. Because you can't heal what you don't feel. I will repeat this. You can't heal what you don't feel. And well, this is important. So it's important that you feel. So the first three things were mostly intangible. The next few steps that I would want to share are things that you can actually do. Write a letter to your younger self. Well, it's been ages that somebody wrote a letter. Gone are those days, like nobody writes letter now. But I would want you to take up a pencil, take up a crayon, take up color pencils, not pens, because as a child, you never wrote with pens. You wrote with pencils, you wrote with colors. So pick up a color pencil, crayons, and write a letter to your younger self. Talk about an event that happened as a child from an adult perspective, with more understanding towards it. And you can also journal as your younger self about something that happened. Because when you look at it today, you have a different perspective to that situation that happened in your life once upon a time. Mirror work or picture work. It's about, if you're parents, I know that you talk to your little ones with love and care, but you can also talk to the little one within you with love and care. It's about having a picture of yourself and talking to that picture of the little version of you and say beautiful words that I love you, that I appreciate you, that you matter. It might seem like it's very funny, but it's very powerful as an exercise. Hug yourself. I want you all to take a moment and just wrap your arms around yourself and just do this for a moment and see how it feels. Just move your hands up and down your arms and see how you feel. Does it feel good? It's been when we know that when somebody hugs us, we feel really nice, but then we always wait for someone to hug us. And if somebody doesn't, or if you don't have somebody who can hug you, you can still meet that need. You can just give yourself a hug. Give that little child a hug every day, several times a day. And that is a very powerful exercise too. Bring back the joys of childhood. Now, as an adult, it's very easy for us to forget about things that get busy in our lives with work and stuff and forget about things that we once enjoyed as a child. When was the last time you counted the stars? When was the last time you saw the clouds and figured out what shape it looked like? I'm sure we all did this as a child, right? I want you to take some time to go back to things that you enjoyed doing as a child. Go to the swings, go to the beach, go to the park. It doesn't have to be every day, but whenever you have time, do activities that you love. It could be singing, it could be dancing, it could be just, I remember making boats out of paper and putting it in the water when it was raining. Just doing things that you did as a child. And this is what Andra touched upon last week. Connecting with the playful side of us. And if you still feel that you need more help, then the last thing is basically to seek professional help. Talk to a therapist if you need more healing. Well, going back to the numbers that you put on the chat. So 9, 8, 5, 6, 7. So those are about 15 statements. The higher the number, the higher is the wounded inner child at the moment, and the more healing it needs. Those are all behaviors that we do as an adult because of the wounded inner child. And well, now we move on to the healing session. So I want to check with you all because I'm going to put you all in a hypnosis. It's a very safe space. I would appreciate if you could turn on your cameras just for this 20 minutes so that I can see you all on screen. I can stop sharing my screen. If you have epilepsy or any psychotic disorders and this is not for you, this is also for those who would be watching the recording. I would not recommend you to do this if you have epilepsy or any psychotic disorders. It's a very safe process. We're going to go back in time and just do some healing. I have something very important to say here. If you feel like crying, please do not stop yourself. If you feel like crying, please do not stop yourself. It's a safe space. Please let go of whatever it is. Are we all ready? I see some head nods for those who have their cameras on. Okay, fantastic. So I want you to relax in your chair, take a deep breath. And this is going to be very, very simple. Just relax, take a deep breath. I want you to open your eyes. Yeah. And now I want you to look up as high as you possibly can, as if you're looking into your own eyebrows. You can remove your specs if you're wearing specs. And this is why I wanted to see everybody to see if there's any specific instructions that I need to give. Just look up into your eyes, take a deep breath. You don't have to put your head up. You just have to look up into your own eyebrows. Take long, deep breath. Breathe out. Take another deep breath. Breathe out. And just one final time, take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, just close your eyes right down, all the way down. As your eyes shut down, the muscles and nerves in and around your eyes are becoming heavy, droopy, and drowsy. Your eyelids are starting to feel as if they have been glued shut, sealed shut, locked tight. So just forget all about your eyes and allow a floating, drifting feeling to develop in your body. And I want you to drop your head a little down as if you're looking down a balcony or down a flight of stairs. Just drop your chin a little. And as I count back from 10 to 1, I want you to see your feet, hear your feet, and feel your feet treading each step as you go deeper and deeper into a more relaxed state. So you're taking step 10 and 9, and you can feel your feet making contact with every step as you go deeper into a more relaxed state. You're taking step 8 and 7, and you can hear the sound of your own feet as you go deeper and deeper and deeper. You're taking step 6 and 5 and 4, going deeper with every sound around you. You're taking step 3, and with every breath you take, you're going deeper into an awareness of yourself. You're taking step 2, going deeper and deeper and deeper. And now you're taking step 1 as you gently, calmly, easily go into a more relaxed, more aware state. So just go deeper, drift deeper, sink deeper. And now I want you all to go back to the home you lived in between the ages of 2 to 8. And if you lived in more than one place during that time, your brilliant subconscious mind will pick up the right home for you. So on the count of 5, you feel younger, being pulled back, drawn back, becoming much younger. On the count of 4, you're becoming smaller, younger, lighter, shorter. On the count of 3, weeks, days, months, years are peeling away as you go back in time. And on the count of 2, you're going back to being a small child, going back in time. And on the count of 1, you're being magnetically drawn to the front door of the home that you lived in between the age your brilliant mind has chosen. And you feel safe, knowing that you're not reliving it, you're just reviewing it. So right now, I want you to open the front door of the home where you lived, where you find everything is familiar to you. Take a look around. And now I want you to go to the room where you slept in as a child. Place your hands on the front door. Open the door. And see the younger version of yourself. And you instantly recognize this child because the two of you have complete affinity towards each other. A perfect connection. And you're going to ask this younger version of you some questions, and the answers will come immediately. I want you to ask that child, how old are you? Are you happy? If you're happy, what is it that makes you feel happy? If some of you have a happy memory, then I would want you to go to a time when you were not happy. Go back to a time when you were not happy and ask that child, what is it that someone does or does not do that makes you feel unhappy? See for yourself what is happening around. What is that child feeling? Tap into those feelings. Check in that child. Why is he or she feeling like that? What is it that someone does or does not do that makes them feel unhappy? It could be your parents fighting, not being there. It could be you being alone. It could be anybody criticizing you. It could be just anything. Just see for yourself. And now, once you have some answers, I want you to pick up that little child, that 2-year-old, that 3-year-old, that 5-year-old, or whatever age that your brilliant subconscious mind has chosen. I want you to pick up that child and give her or him a hug. Just pick that child up. Pick them and just wrap your arms around that child. Give that child a hug. You can physically wrap your arms around that child. Like how you did, how you were hugging yourself. Just hug that child. Hold that little child in your arms. And I want you to tell this child, you are important to me. And say it out loud because everybody's on mute and nobody's going to hear you. So say it out loud. Tell this child, I am becoming a loving parent to you now. And I want you to say it out loud so that you can hear it for yourself. All of you are on mute, so nobody's going to hear you. So say it out loud. I am becoming a loving parent to you. And no one can play this role of a loving parent to you like I can. I love you. You are enough. You have been enough. You are enough. You are important to me. I am proud of you. You're a smart, intelligent child. And I love spending time with you. I see the beauty in you. I believe in you. You're amazing. You're such a beautiful little girl, beautiful little boy. And I want you to take a few moments and say things that you always wished somebody told you as a child. Things that you just wanted to hear so much as a child, but nobody said those words. Just say it out loud. Shout it out loud. Tell this child how much you love him or her. Tell this little version of you how much he or she means to you. Say those words that you always wished somebody said those, but nobody ever did. Nobody ever came and said, oh, you're such a lovable child. Oh, you're so important to me. Oh, I value you so much. I want you to say all that to that little version of you right now. Tell this child that you are safe, and this is a very powerful. Tell this child that you are safe with me. I'm going to take care of you from today. I'm going to protect you from today. I love you unconditionally. And now I want you to take this child from that room to the home where you are right now, where you live right now, today as an adult. And show this child how much has changed. Tell this child that from today onwards, you are going to live in my world. This is a happy, beautiful, and a safe space. Transport that child all the way from wherever you were to this home where you live today, right now. And I want you to take this child room by room and show everything that you have right now, all the resources that you have, all the people in your life, friends, family who love you so much, all the freedom that you have. All the independence that you have. Now you can take your own decisions. Some of you drive cars, some of you are parents. Show them all the love, all the freedom, everything that they wished once you have it right now. Show it to them. And tell them, you live in my world. This is a safe space. And from today onwards, you can choose the life you want to live because you are going to be living in my world. And now I want you to see this little version of you, the 5-year-old, the 2-year-old, the 7-year-old, a little baby, whatever the age is. See that child hovering about a foot above your head. Imagine that little child above your head. And then I want you to see this child dropping down inch by inch, merging with you, merging in your body, merging in your heart, merging in your life right now. That child is becoming one with you, and it's going to live within you, healed, more stronger, independent, powerful, safe. Just see that child becoming one with you. And that child can never go back to how things used to be, because from today onwards, from this moment, that little child is taking up residence in your life as an adult. And see that child being fully integrated in your life. And slowly take a deep breath in through your nose, out through your mouth. And on the count of 5, I want you to slowly open your eyes, come back to awareness, feeling wonderful, feeling happy, feeling healed. On the count of 4 and 3, come back to your awareness, feeling that child fully integrated, feeling amazing, feeling wonderful, feeling enough, feeling worthy. On the count of 2 and 1, you can open your eyes, come back to the room, take a deep breath, and welcome back, everyone.